Sofubi Samurai back again for another episode of Sofubi Sit Down. This past Saturday night I had big plans. I was going to head to a local-ish brewery. They were doing a screening of Terror of Mechagodzilla on a big screen. They were doing it to celebrate this new mecha-themed beer that they were launching. And then I was going to follow that up with a Terror of Mechagodzilla themed episode today. And then, unfortunately, on Friday, I started to feel under the weather, and I thought I was rallying a little bit on Saturday, and then by midday, I just felt like super run down, so I did end up missing it, unfortunately. And I'm still not feeling my usual self, but I will push on to get the review done today for you, the people. Having said that, please like and sub. Do it. So, today we're going to look at the Marmit Titanosaurus, but not just one, my friends. Oh no, they did two of these guys. Both of them in 2004. There's the more common open tail version, of which it appears there are at least 5 different variants floating around, according to Club Tokyo. Marmit did a few different figures in black, including a Gigan and a King Ghidorah that I have, and a Megalon. Obviously, I have this guy. And then they also did a closed tail version, which is a lot harder to find. According to Club Tokyo, there were only 2 variants of this guy. The green version here that sold at Superfest in 2004, and an unpainted yellow version that was sold in a lucky bag. So, okay, enough of my ugly mug. Let's take a look at these 2 beauties, shall we? Oh. And there we have the figures, sculpted almost identically, and we will take a look at the sculpts now, and I think to do that we'll use the green guy. So we'll take a look at him first. As you can see, the entire figure is done in this blue, light blue plastic, light blue vinyl, I guess is the proper word. They are vinyl toys, right? So, head sculpt, very, very nice. Very, very suit accurate, not super stylized as far as the sculpt goes. The paint, on the other hand, is a different story, because it is not accurate to the movie, but that's cool. We're good with that. So as you can see, we've got the green spray all along the top of the head, sides of the head. The antennas are left unpainted. The fin is painted. It's a really nice purple. The flippers on the ears are painted a really nice purple. Eyes are painted silver and black. Sculpted detail. You've got a lot of the little bumps and ridges. That is very accurate to the suit. A little bit of paint on the tongue, a little bit of paint on the teeth. Then you've got a lighter color green here on the neck, which is different from this. The entire back fin is done in this purple. Some of it's left unpainted, which adds a really cool detail to the overall way it flows from the green to the blue to the purple, and then back to the little bit of the blue on the top there. Again, spray, green spray all the way down, all the bumps. Stomach is done in that lighter green. The legs are done in the same green with the bumps. Toes done in silver. And on this guy, the tail is closed. So again, this is the more difficult to find variant of this figure, which has the closed tail. So that's how it looks with the closed tail. So yeah, I think we've pretty much covered the paint on this guy. Like I said, really, really nicely done. I love the paint on this figure. Marmit's paint jobs are generally incredible, and this is no exception. So having said that, let's look at articulation. And for articulation, you know what? We're going to look at this guy. So we'll do that. We'll do articulation and paint on this guy. And then we'll have the best of both worlds. Now, articulation. And we'll take a look at this guy's head and paint anyway while we're at it, right? Because this is a beautifully done figure. This guy is molded in black vinyl, so not a ton of paint on it, but what paint is on it is really cool. You've got straight gold for the eyes, you've got silver for the antennas, you've got silver for the fin, and look at that, open tail. So that's the more common sculpted version of this figure. There's the closed tail, so you can see. So that's like in the movie when he whips his tail open and wiggle waggles. Very scientifically accurate, makes a giant windstorm that blows over buildings and things, because that's what would happen in real life. Alright, what else we got on this guy? Teeth. Sprayed silver. A lot of silver, really, on this guy. He's mostly just silver and gold. That's the two colors, silver and gold. I'm not going to sing it. Then you've got silver on the neck, silver on the stomach, some silver on the fingertips, some silver on his toes, and the inside of the fin is painted silver as well. Alright, so that's the paint on this guy. Articulation wise, again, you know, we've discussed it before, these aren't really meant to be posed, but they do have some. I mean, you can, his head will swivel, his arms will move up and down, his tail will wiggle waggle a little, and he can, you know, his feet can move back and forth a tad. Not that you would really ever need to do that with that guy, but that is the extent of the articulation. Here you see them side by side. Get an idea of the differences in color there. And then you have, can I get them both in there? Yeah, we can get them both in there. So you see that there. Really, really just beautiful paint on both these figures. And from the other side. And why not from the rear. So there you go. Shall we do some comparisons? I think we should. Comparing is caring, right, my friends? Comparing is caring. Comparison time. First up, as these two guys are standing here, it makes me think about in the original screenplay for Terror of Mechagodzilla, or maybe not the original, but one of the screenplays for Terror of Mechagodzilla before the final draft, Titanosaurus was actually two different monsters, smaller monsters called Titans, that merge into the larger monster that becomes Titanosaurus. So that's a pretty cool little nugget of information there, but you probably knew that because we're all nerds here, right? So first up, we have the Marmit Parababy Titanosaurus, and we know that the Marmit Parababy line is the smaller scale line, so that's how they stack with him, and this figure is absolutely gorgeous. I love this figure. We'll probably take a look at him one of these days, but oops, there you go. And as you're going to see with these additional figures, the tail is always open on these. It's very rare that they sculpt Titano with the closed tail. So, but that's how they compare with him. Next up, we have the Bandai from the, I want to call it the Toy Dreams box set. I'm probably saying the wrong thing, but it's the box set with him and Godzilla from Terror of Mechagodzilla. It's a great little set. That is how they compare. Really good sculpt on this figure from Bandai, and paint. Like I said, when Bandai really puts their mind to it, they can knock stuff out of the park. And this is a really good figure. That's how they scale. Next up, we have the M1 Titanosaurus, which is a more stylized version of the character. As you can see there, he's a bit shorter. He's apparently a bit wobblier. He's a bit shorter. Neck's a little shorter. His face is a little fatter. The fin is not as pronounced on that guy. So that's how they stack up with him. Goodness, man, you are just... calm down. There you go. Alright, so that's how they stack up. And this guy's a glowy figure, so he looks pretty cool when the lights are out. Who else we got? Okay, we got a Marmit Monster Heaven Mechagodzilla to go with the Marmit Monster Heaven Titanos. There you go. That's a great look on a shelf right there. In fact, that might be the new positioning on my shelf, now that I think about it, because that is pretty great. So maybe we'll do something like that. That's pretty good. That's how they stack up with him. Taller than him, which they are in the movie because they got the big long neck. So that's how that works. And who else we got? Unfortunately, Marmit didn't do a Godzilla from 1975 suit. So we've got the 73, which I actually should have shown last week when I did the 73 Bandai. But that is how those compare. So you can see that. Pretty nice, pretty good. Gotta love it. And last but not least, this is how they compare to an ice cold can of Hamm's, the beer refreshing. So there you have it. Okay, so that's them, and they are excellent figures. I highly recommend them. They have excellent shelf presence. They are excellently painted, excellently sculpted, and just fantastic all around. Just perfect figures. If you're looking for a stylized Titanosaurus, these would be my recommend to look for. If you can find them, grab them. If it's not like a mortgage payment, I don't know what they cost these days. I haven't been on eBay to look at this stuff in a while, or Yahoo Japan. I've had these guys now, I want to say, for like 9 years. So I'm a little bit out of the buying game at this point. I'm more of the collecting and curating game, I guess, for lack of a better term. So definitely worth a pickup, again, if you can find them. Having said that, thanks for tuning in. I have a box day coming up, so my next video should be a box day video, which I am actually really excited about this figure that we're going to look at next time. So until then, please like, please subscribe, and I will see you next time.